Assalamu alaikum. Let's start a new book. This book's name is Rework. Rework. So Rework's first chapter is the new reality. This is a different kind of business book for different kinds of people from those who have never dreamed of starting a business to those who already have a successful company up and running. It is for hardcore entrepreneurs, the type A go-getters of the business world, people who feel like they were born to start, lead, and conquer. It is also for less intense small business owners, for people who may not be type A but still have their business at the center of their lives. People who are looking for an age that will help them to do more, work smarter, and kick ass. It is even for people stuck in day jobs who have always dreamed about doing their own thing. Maybe they like what they do, but they don't like their boss, or maybe they are just bored. They want to do something they love and get paid for it. Finally, it is for all those people who have never considered going out on their own and starting a business. Maybe maybe they don't think they're cut out of it. Maybe they don't think they have the time, money, or conviction to see it through. Maybe they are just afraid of putting themselves on the line. Or maybe they just think business is a dirty word. A dirty word. Whatever the reason, this book is for them too. There is a new reality. Today anyone can be in business. Tools that used to be out of reach are now easily accessible. Technology that costs thousands is now just a few bucks, or even free. One person can do the job of two or three, in some cases an entire department. Stuff 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 that was impossible just a few years ago is simple today. You don't have to work miserably 60, 80, or 100 hours week to make it work. 40 to 10 hours a week is plenty. 40 to 10 hours a week are plenty. You don't have to deplete your life savings or take on a boatload of risk. Starting a business on the side while keeping your day job can provide all the cash flow you need. You don't even need an office. Today you can work from home or collaborate with people you have never met, who live thousands of miles away. It's time to rework the work. Let's get started. Chapter takedowns. Ignore the real world. Okay, ignore the world. That would never work in the real world. You hear it all the time when you tell people about a fresh idea. This real world sounds like an awful depressing place to live. It is a place where new ideas, unfamiliar approaches, and foreign concepts always lose. The only thing that win are what people already know and do, even if those things are flawed and inefficient. Sorry, and inefficient. Scratch the surface, and you will find this real world inhabitants are filled with pessimism and despair. They accept fresh concepts to fail. They assume society isn't ready for or capable of change. Even worse, they want to drag others down into their tomb. If you are hopeful and ambitious, they will try to convince you your ideas are impossible. They will say are wasting your time. Don't believe them. Please don't believe them. That world may be real for them, but it doesn't mean you have to live in it. We know because our company fails the real world test in all kinds of ways. In the real world, you can't have more than a dozen employees spread out in eight different cities or on two continents. In the real world, you can't attract millions of customers without any salespeople or advertising. In the real world, you can't reveal your formula for success to the rest of the world. But we have done all those things and prospered. The real world isn't a place, it is an excuse. It is just a justification for not trying. It has nothing to do with you. Failure is not a rite of passage. Learning from mistakes is overrated. New chapter or new section, you'd say. Okay. In the business world, failure has become an accepted rite of passage. You hear all the time how 9 out of 10 new businesses fail. You hear that your business's chances are slim to none. You hear that failure builds character. People advise fail early and fail often. With so much failure in the air, you can't help but breathe it in. Don't inhale. Don't get fooled by the stats. Other people's failures are just that, other people's failures. If other people can't market their product, it has nothing to do with you. If other people can't build a team, it has nothing to do with you. If other people can't price their services properly, it has nothing to do with you. If other people can't earn more than they spend, well, you get it. Another common misconception: you need to learn your mistakes. What do you really learn from mistakes? You might learn what not to do again, but how valuable is that you still don't know what you should do next? What you do should next. Okay. Contrast that with learning from your success. Success gives you re, real ammunition. When something succeeds, you know what worked and you can do it again, and the next time you will probably do it even better. Failure is not prerequisite for success. A Harvard Business School study found already successful entrepreneurs are far more likely to succeed again. The success rate of their failure companies is 34%. But entrepreneurs whose whose companies failed the first time had almost the same follow on success rate as people starting a company for the first time, just 23%. People who failed before have the same amount of success as people who have never tried at all. Success is the experience that actually counts. That should not be a surprise. It is exactly how nature works. Evolution doesn't linger on past failures. It is building upon what worked. So should you. Planning is guessing. New section or new chapter, I would say. I don't know actually, but I will say. Okay. Unless you are a fortune teller, long-term business planning is a fantasy. There are just too many factors that are out of your hands. Market conditions, competitors, customers, the economy, etc., etc. Planning a plan makes you feel in control of things you can't actually control. Why don't we just call plans what they really rely are? Guesses. Start referring to your business plans as business guesses, your financial plans as financial guesses, and your strategic plans as strategic guesses. Now you can stop worrying about them as much. They just are not worth the stress. When you turn guesses into plans, you enter a danger zone. Plans let the past drive the future. They put blinders on you. This is where we are going, because, well, that's where we were going, and that's the problem. Plans are inconsistent with improvisation, and and you have to be able to improvise. You have to be able to pick up opportunities that come along. Sometimes you need to say, we are going in a new direction, because that's what makes sense today. Okay. The timing of long range plans is screwed up too. You have the most information. You have the most information when you are doing something, not before you have done. Yet when do you write a plan? Usually it's because you have even begun. That's the worst time to make a big decision. Now this isn't to say you shouldn't think about the failure, or contemplate how you might attack upcoming obstacles. That's a worthwhile exercise. Just don't feel you need to write it down or obsess about it. If you write a big plan, you will most likely never look at it at anyway. Plans more than a few pages long just wind up as fossils in your file cabinet. Give up on the guesswork. Decide what you are going to do this week, not this year. Figure out the next most important thing and do that. Make decisions right before you do something, not far in advance. It's okay to wing it. Just get in the plane and go. You can pick up a nicer shirt, shaving cream, and a toothbrush once you get there. Working without a plan may seem scary, but blindly following a plan that has no relationship with reality is even scarier. Grow. Why grow? Uh, people ask, how big is your company? It's small talk, but they are not looking for a small answer. The bigger the number, the most impressive, professional, and powerful you sound. Wow, nice. They will say if you have 100+ employees. If you are small, you will get an, oh, that nice. The former is meant as a compliment. The latter is said just to be polite. Why is that? What is it about growth and business? There is sorry. Why is expansion always the goal? What is the attraction of big besides ego? You will need a better answer than economics of skill. What's wrong with finding the right size and staying there? Do we look at Harvard or Oxford and say, I have they would only expand and branch out and hire thousands more professors and go global and open their campuses all over the world, then they will be great schools. Of course not. That's not how we measure the value of these institutions. So why is why is it the way we measure businesses? Maybe the right size of your company is 5 people. Maybe it's 40. Maybe it's 200, or maybe it's just you and a laptop. Don't make assumptions about how big you should be ahead of time. Grow slow and see what feels right. Premature hiring is the death of many companies. And avoiding huge growth spurts too. They can cause you to skip right over your appropriate size. Small is just not a stepping stone. Small is great. Small is a great. Small is a great destination in itself. Have you ever noticed that when small businesses wish they were bigger, big businesses dream about being more agile and flexible. And remember, once you get big, it's really hard to shrink out, firing people, damaging morale, and changing the entire way of you do business. Ramping up doesn't have to be your goal. And we are not talking just about the number of employees you have either. It is also true for expenses, rent, IT infrastructure, and furniture, etc. These things don't just happen to you. You decide whether or not to take them on. And if you do take them on, you will be taking on new headaches too. You taking new headaches too. La- lock in lots of expenses, and you force yourself into building a company business, one that's a lot more difficult and stressful to run. Don't be don't be don't be insecure about aiming to be a small business. Anyone who runs a business that's sustainable and profitable, whether it's big or small, should be proud. Workaholism. New chapter: workaholism. Our culture, means the US culture, celebrates the idea of the workaholic. We hear about people burning the midnight oil. They pull all nighters. They pull all nighters and sleep at the office. It is considered a badge of honor to kill yourself over a project. No amount of work is too much work. Not only is this workaholism unnecessary, it's stupid. Working more doesn't mean you care more or get more done. It just means you work more. Workaholics 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 wind up creating more problems than they solve. First off, working like that just isn't sustainable over time. When when the burnout crash comes, and it will it will hit that much harder. Workaholics miss the point too. They try to fix problem by throwing sheer hours at them. They try to make up for intellectual laziness with brute force. This results in inelegant solutions. They even create crises. They don't look for ways to be more efficient because they actually like working over time. They enjoy every feeling like heroes. They enjoy feeling like heroes. They create problems, often unwittingly, just so they can get off on working more. Workaholics make the people who don't stay late feel inadequate for merely working reasonable hours. That's lead to guilt, the poor morale all around. Plus, it leads to an as in seat mentality. People stay late out obligation even if they aren't really being productive. If if all if all you if all you do is work, you are unlikely to have sound judgments. Your values and decisions decision making wind up skewed. You stop being able to decide what's worth extra effort and what's not, and you wind up just plain tired. No one makes sharp decisions when tired. In the end, workaholics don't actually accomplish more than non-workaholics. They they may claim to be perfectionists, but that just means they were they were wasting time fixating an inconsequential details instead of moving on to the next task. Sorry. Workaholics are not heroes. They don't save the day. They just use it up. The real hero is already home because she figured out a faster way to get things done. New chapter: Be a starter. Enough enough with entrepreneurs. The new chapter. Okay. Let's retire the term entrepreneur. It's outdated and loaded with baggage. It smells like a members only club. Everyone should be encouraged to start his own business, not just some rare breed that identifies as entrepreneurs. There's a new group of people out there starting businesses. They were turning profits, yet never think of themselves as entrepreneurs. A lot of them don't even think of themselves as business owners. They were just doing what they love on their own terms and getting paid for it. So let's let's replace the fancy sounding word with something a bit more down to earth. Instead of entrepreneurs, let's call just them startups. Okay, anyone who creates a new business is a starter. You don't need an MBA, a certificate, a fancy suit, a beard, a briefcase, or an above average tolerance for risk. You just need an idea, a touch of confidence, and a push to get started. Okay, try again, or maybe not. New York Times, March 21, 2009. This book written by Leslie Berlin. Okay. New chapter. Okay, there are those chapters of sections. I mistakenly said that everything is was in new chapter. So this is the new chapter, the second chapter of this book. Chapter name is Go. Make a dent in the universe. The new section. Okay, make a dent in the universe. To do great work, you need to feel that you are making a difference, that you are putting a meaningful dent in the universe, they, that you are part of something important. This doesn't mean you need to find the cure of cancer. It is just that your efforts need to feel valuable. You want your customers to say, "Mm, this makes my life better." You want to feel that if you stop doing what you do, people would notice. You should feel an urgency about this too. You don't have forever. This is your life's work. Do you want to build just another Me Too product, or do you want to shake things up? What you do is your legacy. Don't sit around and wait for someone else to make the change you want to see. And don't think it takes a huge team to make the difference either. Look at look at Craigslist, which demolished the tradition, which demolished the traditional classified ad business. With just a few dozen the employees, the company generates tens of millions in revenue, has one of the most popular sites on the internet, and disrupted the entire newspaper business. The the drudge the the Drudge Reporter, run by Matt Drudge, is just one simple page on the on the web, run by one guy. Yet it's had a huge impact on the news industry, television producers, radio talk shows hosts, and newspapers reporters routinely view it as the go-to place for news stories. If you're going to do something that matters. There's little guys came out of nowhere and destroyed old models that had been around for decades. You can do the same in your industry. Scratch in your own itch. In chapter, scratch your own itch. The easiest, most straightforward way to create a great product or service is to make something you want to use. Like in the Show Your Work book, Austin Kleons gives us that chapter is maybe it's write the book you want to read, maybe something like that. So this is the same idea, I think. At 37 signals, we means author. Okay, I forget the lines. Okay, that lets you, the easiest, most straightforward way to create a great product or service is to make something you want to see. That lets you design what you know, and you will figure out immediately whether or not what you are making is any good. At 37 signals, we means authors build products we need to run our own business. For example, we wanted a way to keep track of whom we talk to, what we said, and when we need to follow up next. So we created Highrise, our contact management software. There was no need for focus groups, market studies, or middlemen. We had the itch, so we scratched it. When you build a product or service, you make the call of hundreds of tiny decisions each day. If you are solving someone else's problem, you are constantly stabbing in the dark. When you solve your own problem, the light comes on. You know exactly what the right answer is. Inventor James Dyson scratched his own itch. While vacuuming his home, he realized his vacuum cleaner was constantly losing suction power. Dust kept clogging the pores in the bag and blocking the airflow. It wasn't someone else's imaginary problem. It was a real one that he experienced firsthand. So he decided to solve the problem and came up with the world's first cyclonic bagless vacuum cleaner. Very nice. Okay. Uh, Vic, sorry, Vickford, Vickford, Vickford came up with the idea of making a better drumstick while playing timpani for the Boston Symphony orchestra. The sticks he could buy commonly didn't measure up to the job. So he began making and selling drumsticks for his basement at home. Then one day he dropped a bunch of sticks on the floor and heard all the different pitches. That's when he began to match up sticks by moisture content, weight, density, and pitch. So they were identical pairs. The result become his product's tagline, the perfect pair. Today Wixford factory turns out more than 85,000 drumsticks a day and has a 62% share in the drumstick market. Very nice. Track coach Bill Bowerman decided that his team needed better, lighter running shoes. So he went out to his workshop and poured rubber into the familiar waffle iron. That's how Nike's famous waffle sole was born. These people scratched their own itch and exposed a huge market of people who needed exactly what they needed. That's how you should do it too. When you build what you need, you can also assess the quality of what you make quickly and directly instead of by proxy. Mary Kay Wagner, founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, knew her skincare products were great because she used them herself. She got them for a local cosmetologist who sold homemade formulas to patients, relatives, and friends. When the cosmetologist passed away, Wagner bought the formulas from the family. She didn't need focus groups or studies to know products were good. She just had to look at her own skin. Best of all, this solve your problem approach lets you fall in love with what you are making. You know the problem and the value of its solution intimately. There is no substitute for that. After all, you will hopefully be working on this for years to come. Maybe even the rest of your life. It better be something you really care about. Next chapter, start making something. Just start. Okay. We all have that one friend who says, I had the idea for eBay. If only I had act on it, I would be a billionaire. Okay, that logic is pathetic and delusional. Having the idea for eBay has nothing to do with actually creating eBay. What you do is what matters, not what you think or say or plan. Think your ideas that valuable, then go try to sell it and see what you get for it. Not much is probably the answer until you actually start making something. Your brilliant idea is just that, an idea, and everyone's got one of those. Stanley Kubrick gave this idea to aspiring filmmakers. Get hold of a camera and some film and make a movie of any kind at all. Kubrick knew that when you are new at something, you need to start creating. The most important thing is to begin. So get a camera, hit record, and start shooting. Ideas are cheap and plentiful. The original pitch idea is such a small part of business that it's almost negligible. The real question is, how will you execute? Execution. No time is no excuse. Okay. The most common excuse people give, there is not enough time. They claim they would love to start a company, learn an instrument, market an invention, write a book or whatsoever, but there just are not enough hours in the day. Come on. There's always enough time if you spend it right. And don't think you have to quit your day job either. Hang on to it and start work on your project at night. Instead of watching TV or playing World of Warcraft, work on your idea. Instead of going to bed at 10, go to bed at 11. We are not talking about all nighters or 16 hour days. We're talking about squeezing out of extra hours of a week. That's enough time to get something going. Once you do that, you will learn whether whether experiment and interest is real or just a passing phase. If it doesn't pan out, you just keep going to work every day like you have been doing all along. You didn't risk or lose anything other than a bit of time, so it's no big deal. When you want something bad enough, you make the time regardless of your other obligations. The truth is, most people just don't want it bad enough. Then they protect their ego with the excuse of time. Don't limit yourself of the hook with excuses. It's entirely your responsibility to make your dreams come true. Besides, the perfect time never arrives. You are always too young, or too old, or too busy, or too broke, or something else. If you constantly fret about timing things perfectly, they will never happen. New chapter: draw a line in the sand. Draw a line in the sand. As you get going, keep in mind why you are doing what you are doing. Great businesses have a point of view, not just a product or service. You have to believe in something. You need to have a backbone. You need to know what you are willing for fight for, and then you need to show the world. A strong stand is how you attract superfans. They point to you and defend you, and they spread the word further, wider, and more passionately than any advising could. Strong opinions are not free. You will turn some people off. They will accuse you of being arrogant and aloof. That's life. For everyone who loves you, there will be others who hate you. If no one's upset by what you are saying, you are probably not pushing hard enough, and you are probably boring too. That's I, at least for now. Okay. Lots of people hate us because our products do less than the competitors. They are insulted when we refuse to include their pet feature. But we're just as proud of what our products don't do as we are of what they do. We design them to be simple because we believe most software is too complex, too many features, too many buttons, too many confusion. So we build software that the opposite of that. If what we make is not right for everyone, that's okay. We are willing to lose some customers if it means that others love our products instantly. That's our line in the sand. When you don't know what you believe, everything becomes an argument. Everything is debatable. But when you stand for something, decisions are obvious. For example, who sorry. For example, Whole Foods stands for selling the highest quality, natural, and organic products available. They don't waste time deciding over and over again what's appropriate. No one asks, should we sell this product that has artificial flavors. There's no debate. The answer is clear. That's why you can't buy a Coke or a Sneakers there. This belief means the food of more expensive, the whole foods. Some haters even call it whole paycheck, and make fun of those who shop there. But so what? Whole Foods is doing pretty damn well. Another example is Vinny's Sub Shop, just down the street from our office in Chicago. They put this homemade basil oil on subs that's just perfect. You better show up on time through. Ask when they close, and the woman behind the counter will respond, we close when the bread runs out. Really? Really? Yeah, we get our bread from the bakery down the street early in the morning when it's the freshest. When we run out, usually around 2 or 3 p.m., we close up shop. We could get more bread later in the day, but it is not as good as fresh baked bread in the morning. There is no point in selling a few more sandwiches if the bread isn't good. A few bucks isn't going to make up for selling food we can't be proud of. Would not would not would not you rather eat at a place like that instead of some generic sandwich chain? Live it live it or leave it. Okay. Mission sorry mission statement impossible. There's a world of difference between truly standing for something and having a mission statement that says you stand for something. You know, those providing the best service signs that are created just to be posted on a wall. The ones that sound phony and disconnected from reality. Imagine you are standing in a rental car office. The room's cold. The carpet is dirty. There is no one at the counter. And then you see a tattered piece of paper with some clip art at the top of it, pinned to a bulletin board. It's a mission statement. Our mission is to fulfill the automotive our mission is to fulfill the automotive and commercial truck rental, leasing car sales, and relative needs of our customers, and in doing so exceed their expectations for service, quality, and value. We will strive to earn our customers long term loyalty by working to deliver more than promised, being honest and fair, and going the extra mile to provide exceptional personalized service that creates a pleasing business experience. We must motivate our employees to provide exceptional service to our customers by supporting their development, providing opportunities, or sorry for and we must motivate our employees to provide exceptional service to our customers by supporting their development, providing opportunities for personal growth, and fairly compensating them for their excuses and achievements. And it drones on, and you are sitting there, and you're sitting there reading this crap and wondering what kind of idiot do they take me for. The words on the paper are clearly disconnected from the reality of the experience. It is like when you on hold, and a recorder voice comes on telling you how much the company values you as a customer. Really? Then made then maybe you should hire some more support people, so I don't have to wait 30 minutes to get help, or just say nothing. But don't give me an automated voice that's telling me how much you care about me. It's a robot. I know the difference between genuine affection and a robot that's programmed to say nice things. Standing for something isn't just about writing it down. It's about believing it and living it. Outside money is plan Z. Okay, plan Z means Z. We actually say it. Okay. One of the first questions you will probably ask, where the seed money going to come from. Far too often, people think the answer is to raise money from outsiders. If you are sorry, if you are building something like a factory or restaurant, then you may indeed need that outside cash. But a lot of companies don't need expensive infrastructure, especially these days. Where are in a service economy now? Service businesses, e.g. consultancy, software companies, wedding planners, graphic designers, and hundred of others don't require much to get going. If you are running a business like that, avoid outside funding. In fact, no matter what kind of business you are starting, take on as little outside cash as you can. Spending other people's money may sound great, but there is no nose attached. Here is why. The first point is you give up control. When you turn to outsiders for funding, you have to answer to them too. That's fine at first when everyone agrees. But what happens down the road? Are you starting your business to take orders from someone else, raise money, and that's what you will find up doing. Cashing out brings to Trump building a quality business. Investors want their money back and quickly, usually 3 to 5 years. Long term sustainability goes out the window when those involved only want to cash out as soon as they can. Spending Third point, that's the second point. Cashing out brings to Trump building a quality business. Then third point is spending other people's money in addictive. There's nothing easier than spending other people's money, but then you ran out and need to go back for more, and every time you go back they take more of your company. It's the fourth point. It's usually a bad deal. When you are just beginning, you have no leverage. That's terrible time to enter into any financial transaction. Point number five: customers have down the totem pole. You wind up building what investors want instead of what customers want. Raising money is incredibly distracting. Raising money is incredibly distracting. You find up building what investors want instead of what customers want. Raising money sorry seeking funding is difficult and draining. It takes months of pitch meetings, legal maneuvering, contracts, etc. That's an enormous distraction. That's an enormous distraction when you should really be focused on building something great. It's just not worth it. We hear over and over from business owners who have gone down this road and regret it. They usually give a variation on the investment hangover story. First you get that quick investment buzz, but then you start having meetings with your investors and or board of directors, and you are like, oh man, what have I gotten myself into? Now someone else is calling the shots. Before you stick you head in that news. Look for another way. Do you really need the poster? Authors showed us you need less than you think. New section of chapter 2. Okay. Do you really need 10 people, or will 2 or 3 do for now? Do you really need $500,000 or 50,000 or just 5,000 enough for now? Do you really need 6 months, or can you make something in 2? Do you really need a big office, or can you share office space, or work from home for a while? Do you really need a warehouse, or can you rent a small storage space, or use or use your garage or basement, or outsource it completely? Next question: Do you really need to buy advertising and hire a PR firm, and hire a PR firm, or are there other ways to get noticed? Do you really need to build a factory, or can you hire someone else to manufacture your products? Next question: Do you really need an accountant, or can you use can you use Quicken and do it yourself? Next question: Next question: Do you really need an IT department, or can you outsource it? Do you really need a full-time support person, or can you handle inquiries on your own? Do you really need to open a retail store, or can you sell your product online? Do you really need fancy business cards, letterhead, and brochures, or can you or can you forego that stuff? You get the point. Maybe eventually you will need to go the bigger, more expensive route, but not right now. But not right now, exactly. If you are in the starting, okay. There is nothing wrong. Sorry, there is nothing wrong with being fragile. When we launched our first product, we did it on the cheap. We didn't get our own office. We started space with another company. We didn't get a black servers. We had only one. We didn't advertise. We promoted by sharing our experiences online. We didn't hire someone to answer customer emails. The company founder answered them himself, and everything worked out just fine. Great companies start in garages all the time. Yours can too. Start a business. New section: Start a business, not a startup. Let's start again. Let's start again. The startup. It's a special breed of company that gets a lot of attention, especially in the tech world. The startup is a magical place. It's a place where expenses are someone else's problem. It's a place where the pesky things called revenue is never an issue. It's a place where you can spend other people's money until you figure out a way to make your own. It's a place where the laws of business physics don't apply. The problem with the magical place, it's a fairy tale. The truth is, every business, new or old, is governed by the same set of market forces and economic rules. Revenue in, expenses out. Turn up profit, or wind up gone. Startups try to ignore this reality. They are run by people trying to postpone the inevitable, i.e., the moment when the business has to grow up, turn a profit, and be a real sustainable business. Anyone who takes a well figure out how to profit in the future. Attitude to business is being ridiculous. That's like building a rocket ship, but starting off by saying, let's pretend gravity doesn't exist. A business without a path to profit isn't a business, it's a hobby. So so don't use the idea of startup as a crutch. Sorry, as the crutch. Instead, start an actual business. Actual businesses have to deal with actual things like bills and payroll. Actual businesses worry about profit from day one. Actual business don't mask deep problems by saying it's okay, we are a startup. Act like an actual business, and you will have a much better shot at succeeding. Come on. You need a commitment strategy. not an exit strategy. An exit strategy. Sorry. Building to flip. Building to sorry. Building to flip. Sorry. Building to flip is building to flop. New section. Okay. Another thing you hear a lot. What's your exit strategy? You hear it even when you are just beginning. When you are just beginning. What is it with people who can't even start building something without knowing how they are going to live it? What's the hurry? People priorities are out of whack in whack if you're thinking about getting out before you even dive in. Would you go into a relationship planning the breakup? Would you write the prenup on a first date? Would you meet with a divorce law? Would you meet with a divorce lawyer the morning of your wedding? That would be ridiculous, right? Uh, you need a commitment strategy, not an exit strategy. You should be thinking about how to make your project grow and succeed, not how you are going to jump ship. If your whole strategy is based on living, chances you are won't get far in the first place. You see you see so many aspiring business people. You see so many aspiring business people pinning their hopes on selling out, but the odds of getting acquired are so tiny. There's only a slim chance that some big suitor will come along and make it all worthwhile. Maybe one in thousand or one in 10,000. Okay. Plus, when you build a company with the intention of building acquired, you emphasize the wrong things. Instead of focusing on getting customers to love you, you worry about who's going to buy you. That's the wrong thing to obsess over. And let's say you ignore this advice and do pull off a flip. You build your business, sell it, and get a nice payday. Then what? Move to an island and sip pina coladas all day. Will that really satisfy you? Will money alone truly make you happy? Are you sure you will like that more than running a business you actually enjoy and believe in? That's why you often hear about business owners who sell out, retire for 6 months, and get back in the game. They miss the thing they give away, and usually they are back with the business that isn't nearly good as their first. Don't be that guy. If you do manage to get a good thing going, keep it going. Good things don't come around that often. Don't let your business be the one that got away. Lease, long-term contracts, inventory, meetings, meetings. Wait. Okay. Let's talking about most probably the last chapter. Eventually the last chapter of last section of chapter 2 of no rework. That book is so amazing and easy to read. I experienced that throughout the hour. So let's mass. Let's mass. New section. Let's start it. Okay. Embrace the idea of having less mass. Right now you're the smallest, the leanest, and the fastest you will ever be. From here on out, you will start accumulating mass, and the more massive an object, the more energy required to change its direction. It's as true in the business world as it is in the physical world. Mass is increased by long-term contracts, excess staff, permanent decisions, meetings, thick process, inventory, physical or mental, hardware, software, technology lock-ins, long-term roadmaps, office politics, etc., etc. Avoid these things whenever you can. That's why you will be able to change direction easily. The more expensive it is to make a change, the less likely you are to make it. Huge organizations can take years to pivot. They talk instead of act. They meet instead of do. They, but but if you keep your, but if you keep your mass low, you can quickly change anything. Your entire business model, product, feature set, and on marketing messages. You can make mistakes and fix them quickly. You can change your priorities, product mix, or focus. And most important, you can change your mind. Okay, with that, chapter go is end. Now, after next started chapter progress with less is a good thing. Till then, assalamu alaikum.